5, security and compliance. So firstly, let's start with what is the meaning of security in our own terms. We can just drop it in the chat, the meaning of security and the meaning of compliance. Let's just take it together so that we won't take most of our time dwelling on definitions. However, today it will just be definition of terms and introduction to maybe the portal and some other things that we need to know before we start our hands-on properly. So as I asked earlier, I will need some people to give us definition of security. Aisha, thank you. Security involves protection from external attack. Okay. Security is the measure taken to ensure ensure protection over particular information or things. Thank you. Security prevention from attacks. Thank you. So what about compliance? What about compliance? What about compliance? Please, let's take note of the definitions. It's going to help us while we are explaining. Compliance: invoices abiding by certain rules. Okay. State of being free from danger. Compliance: adherence to policies and procedure. I think I love that definition. Adherence to policies and procedure is a set of rules and regulations to abide. Okay, thank you. Everybody have actually done well. I think I really appreciate us for that. At least we have been able to define security and compliance. So before I go to the next slide, I would just want to give a brief illustration on what security and what compliance also look like. So let me just say, especially for those of us that we are in this part of the universe, let me use it like that, which is this part of the continent in Africans. Most time after building our houses, you see we have some iron bars present at our windows. We have also iron bars at our door. Though some developed and advanced continents, they don't have their houses designed like that. But however, if we want to mention that, we mention that those bars and iron are what are a form of security, and also our padlock and any form of lock to the entrance or to protect an intruder into our house is called security. But however, despite we have put different security in places, at times we even have barbed wires on our fence. There are still some other things that we need to do in order for those things that we have put in place to work for us, which is what we call compliance. It will be very funny for somebody to lock the door and leave the key in front of the door. Me locking my door now, then I left my key just in front of my door. That is how should I put it now? It's as good as not locking my door at all. Though the security items and everything have been put in place, but however, because I refuse to comply with the rules and regulation that guide the safety of that house, then I might pay for it dearly. I might pay for it dearly. Let me bring out some diagram. Let me see where is paint. So let me just paint what I'm trying to explain. So I think this will help us to actually understand what I'm trying to say in general. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So pencil, can my pencil write? Oh, not thick enough. Let me pick black. Okay. So white background. Sorry. Come up, please. Come up.
I think you could just pick a white pen so that we can just move on, right?
Okay. That works. That's fine. Up there. What is happening? Whichever way is not changing. Let me see. Don't save. Paint. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to explain. So let's assume this is my security. This is my users. I have my users inside. So for this security to be effective, then there are things that this user that is inside must do. You know, if a user inside, there are some information that you can actually give to an intruder and they use it to intrude your privacy or your company. However, if a user is trying to attack this place, my security is meant to stop them. But there are some things this user can do internally that will make what this person is trying to do to penetrate my security and get to this user or any data or application this user is trying to have access to, which is just a brief background on what a security and what compliance actually look like. I think with that at the back of our mind, we will understand the security aspect and the compliance aspect of this course. So let us proceed. Okay, so we have our outline, and if you look at our outline very well, one way or the other, if you can just zero your mind on what I have explained, you will see that one of them is talking about the security aspect, while the other part of it is talking about the compliance aspect. So security aspect most time is done by the admin. You know, as Rafiah have said earlier, most of us now should be changing our profile, incoming Microsoft 365 admin, or you can put Microsoft 365 admin intern and some other thing like this, at least to identify yourself being Microsoft 365 admin. So as an admin, there are some parts that you need to play, and your users also, there are things you need to explain to users. But however, you know, we humans, there are a lot of things that if we are not forced to do them, we will not want to do it, which is where compliance comes in and what can be done as admin to protect the environment. You know, we don't want because of one person negligence, then the entire company should pay for it, or the company should go at loss because of just a staff or a user negligence. So this is our agenda for the um for let me say that's 2 weeks, the 4 section we'll be having together. That's why I mentioned earlier that today will be majorly about speaking English and grammar, since it's just the introductory aspects of it. Then from tomorrow we start some hands-on. But don't forget, we must get the concept of security and get the concept of compliance before you'll be able to understand most of these things uprightly. So the first part of it, which is understanding the importance of security and compliance in Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So before we take it to Microsoft 365 ecosystem, I will actually want us to bring it to our own level. But before then, I believe everybody can see the screen, what we have on the agenda. So today we'll just be talking about the first to explore the role of administrator in maintaining a secure and a compliant environment. And the user access security will continue from there tomorrow. So let's go back to the first one again. So as said in the topic, we said understanding importance of security and compliance in Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So I would like to ask us now, what is the essence of security and compliance currently in our houses? Why do we have to put those things in place? Like, let me say, let's pick the compliance first. Let me say, after having your burglary proof or your iron bar proof in your house, your gates, your window, some of us still have barbed wire or some form of security on our fence, even on our gates and every other places in our house. Why do we have still to get a security guard in the house? So the floor is open to everybody to contribute. Why do we still need to get maybe um, a security guard, a police, or any form of guard in the estate and in the house also, despite putting all those things in place? So the floor is open to us. Let us discuss so we'll be able to get this concept properly. So I'm open. I'll be reading everybody's chats. So I'm expecting our response. I'm expecting our response to identify who comes in and who goes out. Okay. To keep intruder out. Okay. Can I please repeat my question? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. In our houses, we have keys to lock our doors, and most time we are leaving the house, you close your windows, you close your door, and some of us we still have.
Who do it? Let me see. Wow, beautiful. Julia, are you still there? So I guess we lost GD briefly, so please just keep it coming. I'm sure when it jumps back on the call, it's going to look at what you have been dropping. So because they are hardened criminals that break the simple barrier, okay, to protect data from unauthorized user, and somebody is saying peace of mind. Somebody says is to avoid unwanted and unauthorized users or guests to ensure necessary information or live important documents are not out. And somebody say for safety, say having the security man at the gate is for two-factor protection. And someone said without security guard, people can actually break the doors. Somebody said it's extra layer of security, just like MFA authentication. That's brilliant. Anyway, so somebody said, I can't hear the speaker. It's just me. I think, yeah, at some point we lost his voice. So that's why I'm on this microphone also. And someone said to avoid any pro to avoid and protect unauthorized access. Someone says to oversee all the security measures. And somebody said is to checkmate who gets access into the facility. And someone said is to secure and safeguard items in the house. It serves as an additional layer of security / protection. Some criminals may still want to break in the security and send info to make sure the security measures are checked to prevent unauthorized access. So all these answers are truly very beautiful. And I'm sure that this speaks the mind of GD. So we will just quickly look at this. Somebody says is to ensure that security measures are strictly adhered to. So while we are waiting for him, we just see if I could chat him up quickly just to be sure of what is happening. Just give me a second, please. Okay, guys, I'm trying to get him back on the call, but before we have him, I may just have to continue tentatively while he joins. So he was asking, why do you still need someone to be available at the gate to take care of the environment? And somebody mentioned already, I think that person is forward thinking to say that that person at the gate is going to be serving as the second layer security, just to make sure that the security features that are kept in place are also followed strictly. So that is to say that you understand the concept that GD is coming out from. The fact that you have security in place does not mean that your environment is truly secure. So you need to also try to put some level of checks in place to confirm that what you have put there is actually functional the way it ought to be. And someone mentioned that it's like a second layer security. So what that means is that there's going to be a check on what is happening in that environment to make sure that yes, there's security in place, but the compliance too is very important to the security laws. So I'm going to share my screen now. I'm just trying to attach my second screen so that I can be more visible and relaxed while I'm trying to display what we have to talk about. Good thing is that I have Jide's slides with me, so it could just be very useful at this point. So just give me some seconds for me to pull up. But if we have him before then, I think it's better. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, I think he's back now. Yeah, good. So Jide, please go ahead. We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, boss. Apologies for the transmission. But the break in transmission, I think there are some unforeseen circumstances due to network that dropped me off. So where we stopped earlier, so I was asking a question regarding our houses. I'm just using it as illustration so we could get the security and compliance, security and compliance. So I was asking, I think some people provided some questions. I'm trying to look at it. Some answers, sorry. I'm trying to look at it. Okay. If you are not around or still have access to your house, supervision of those security gadgets and maintenance. A security man at the gate is to receive information. A first man just okay. So I said earlier that we'll discuss about the compliance part earlier. So if we remember at the beginning I mentioned it that having securities gadgets or putting security in place is not enough. There must be a way to enforce some compliance to users also, so that the security you have put in place will do what will actually be able to secure those things that you want them to secure. So after having your burglary proof, your bar and every other thing that you needed to put in place, the reason why you are putting you're having security is there are some intruders that want to come in, and there are some security consciousness as house owner too that you need to have. So your security can always advise you on what to do. It will be of I don't want to use the word um let me just say somebody that has a nonchalant attitude. Then after you decide to lock your back door, you lock every door, then you leave your front door open to your house. And he said, okay, I have every other thing, I have security dog and everything. Leaving the front of your house open to everybody, one, that is just a glitch. Some of us that remember far before now, we make use of some network free browsing, data subscription. We just have to do one or two settings. Then with time, those glitches in the network was what was secured, was amended by the network providers, and we couldn't have access to those glitches again. What am I trying to say? If a user or an organization, they don't follow or they are not compliant, then there's chances that all the security you have put in place will be of no use, So which is the first about the compliance aspect. So let's now change the question to the other side now. Let's assume you have security men in your estate, you have security at the entrance of your house, which is yeah, we call them gateman. But your house does not have any lock. Your fence, which is your compound, you don't have gates. Your estate, there is no gate. Your living room, there is no door. The back door, the back entrance, there is no door. Every corner of your house, you have no door. So now, despite you have, and you yourself, you are compliant with every other thing, but however, there is no security in place. If you agree with me, you know that that house is vulnerable to robbery by default, despite you have all those things in place. Do you agree with me? Let me know if you agree with me, so we'll know we are still together here. Do you agree with me? Okay, thank you. Yes, it will give unauthorized access to your house. Yes. So we'll still get there, but I will not dwell much on that because we've talked about that doing extra ID, authorization and authentication. So we've discussed much about that. So I'll just do a crash course on that. So let's continue. So why is security important? Why is it so important? Why is it so important to us? I have a house. My house is so beautiful and everything. Why is security important to me? Why do I have to secure all what I have? I know we all have the answers. We all have the answers. If you have everything in the world and there is no security, it means you don't own what you have because it can be robbed from you. In short, your life can be taken away just because of what you possess or what you have in your possession, and people are trying to forcefully take it away from you because you refuse to do what is needed. So let's now bring it now to the Microsoft ecosystem. So let me start with, yes, to prevent loss. So let me start with the number one question I would like to ask is just list some of the Microsoft technology we have, because now we want to talk about how is this security important to the Microsoft ecosystem. We've related to what we have around us, what we can see. So let's now bring it to technology that we are actually discussing about. So let's list some of Microsoft technology we still remember, or we have been taught about. I think this faster, we should guess as faster. Some of Microsoft technology. MFA, Azure, okay. Which other one again? Active Directory, Intune, Entra, the Exchange, Exchange Online, Outlook, okay. SharePoint, Teams, PowerShell, Cloud. We want to secure our cloud. We want to secure the cloud. Okay. Maybe we'll join the angels to do that. Virtualization. Okay, thank you. So now if you agree with me, we see that most of this technology we have mentioned, they either have identity related, they are data related or application related. And all these things need what? To be protected. All these things need to be protected, which is what bring about the security and compliance that we'll be talking about today. So some of what we have in the Microsoft ecosystem is what we just mentioned now. So all this technology now, you see that it has users data. Some is hosting application, some they have our identities, they have our biographies, a lot of things. Some has company data that if it should get to the wrong hand, then a lot of harm can be done. A lot of harm can be done. Let's just take exchange for instance, since we just concluded on exchange. I know when our instructor was taking us, he has taught us majorly exchange is for sending emails and receiving emails. Let's assume, I know most of us that we are here, we are Nigerians, so let's make use of the richest man in Africa, which is Aliko Dangote. Email is compromised, or let's assume you have access to Aliko Dangote personal email, that is his official email. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? You can just drop it in the chat. Or let's assume you have access to Bill Gates email. Maybe for one reason or the other, then something happened, you have access to Bill Gates email. What will happen? Your life done better. Life done sweet. I will have. So why do you think all this will happen? You say life done better. Do you mean Aliko Dangote's email or Bill Gates emails equal millions or billions of dollars or what? You can just buttress your point. So we'll go from there. Everywhere, Thanksgiving. Okay. The email will be vulnerable. Okay. criminal mind will defraud him. Okay, you have informations that can be tied to trillions of dollars. Okay. So any of these email we are talking about, you just have to send just one email, maybe to his personal accountant or to his firm, their group, Dangote groups accountant. That okay, just send or just add this person to the payroll of the company. Since the email is coming directly from his mailbox, then the accountant will not argue by default. That's will be done without asking any further question. So how do we protect all these things from happening? I think some months ago, we were told that some banks' data were linked where people were able to get customers' data and they started sending different emails and different text messages to users regarding their BVN, NIN, to get confidential information from these users because there was a breach in one of the bank, maybe data center. You can see. So how what are we expected to do to avoid all these things? So meanwhile, please let's have it at the back of our mind. Every technology have its own secure way and compliance, things to do, what to do, and things to do, what to do and things to do. People say free money, his reputation is at risk. Okay. So which is what brings about that, we use exchange as illustration now. Just email, you can see just email. A lot of things can do what? Can go wrong. A lot of things can go wrong. So let's look at the second part of it. I can see our time is really, really fast spent. Yes, I'm not sharing my screen yet for those that are asking. Okay, can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen? Yes or no? No. Okay. Come in, please. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, your screen is up now.
Can you see my screen? Yes or no?
Yes, Jide, your screen is up.
Okay, thanks, boss. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I won't talk about the first part of it, which is the importance of security, relating it to our day-to-day activities. I think some sisters, some mommies, some friends, they go out every to make sure at least they are secure and they comply to some things. You see, most of my friends will tell you once it's 7 p.m., I'm in my house. They, no matter what you tell them, no matter the amount of money you're ready to pay them, they will tell you, I'm not going out again. So, though there are security in places, but you just have to comply with some things for those security to actually work. So, we have talked about the user part. Now, we want to talk about the admin part. I think we have 3 more minutes. Rafiat, are you still coming up by 9 p.m.? Rafia, are you there?
Okay, so Jide, it's fine. You can just rule. When it
Okay.
is when it is like 15 minutes to 10, we can wrap up so that any announcement that is to be made can be made then, so we can stop the recording also.
Okay, that's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So let's continue. So the other part of it, as from what you have on our screen, you can see to explore the role of administrators in maintaining a secure and a compliant environment. So from what we've explained so far, before taking it or bringing it to our technology, let's assume an admin is a landlord. What are the things you expect that landlord, you as the landlord of your house now, you as the house owner? So let's talk about the security aspects. What are the things that is expected to put in place? What are the things that you are expected to put in place? So let's talk about them. You can mention them in the group, then we can relate them to technology. The floor is open to everybody. I just want to make sure that everybody is carried along.
Jide, you may want to repeat that question again, please. Thank you.
Okay, okay. The second part of the topic we are to talk about today. So it's talking about the admin role in maintaining secure and compliant environment. So I'm asking, we've been using our houses as illustration to come down to what we can relate to it before relating it to the technology. So the question I'm asking is, let's assume the admin is the house owner. So as house owner, what are the things that you're expected to put in place before anybody can say this house is secure? I think I have some answers. Set rules, set boundaries, security measures. What are the measures? Ease and fence, security camera, gate, fence, burglary, doors, enable 2FA. Can we enable 2FA for for house? It's more vast. Okay, thank you. So everybody is actually correct. You can see let's assume you just got an apartment or just moved to a house and you are told, oh sorry, we have everything in place. However, the flat does not have doors. Because of that reason alone, you'll not be going for the house. Oh, the house have everything you needed, fine wardrobe, there's electricity, mention it, good internet, everything is fine, but you are told all the doors have no lock or there is no doors from the major entrance to every other entrance in the house. There is no door. By default, no sensible person will do what? Will want to stay in that house by default. No sensible person will want to stay in the house by default. So the other part of it, which is the compliance. So you as an admin, what are the things you are expected to put in place to enforce compliance? So you as house owner or you as the landlord, you have a tenant, what are the things that you need to put in place to enforce compliance? Let's just give some example of them. Then we'll now go to both the security and the um, compliance admin center. What are the rules? Mention some rules and regulation. We know there are rules and regulation that people have to obey. So what are some of these rules that people need to obey so they will be compliant? Time to come in, log gates by 10 p.m., curfew, time to close the gates, pit locker. It's to be closed by 11. Aside from closing the day, what about if you see strange faces or if you see strange movements around? What do you do? I've only mentioned logs. What about if you see strange faces? If you see strange face in your house because you have rules that everybody must come in by 11, then you won't do anything about it. Is that what you are saying? Hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so understanding the importance of security and compliance can see data protection is very, very important when it comes to any form of technology, irrespective of what type of technology we are talking about here. Data protection is very, very important. And most technology, there are some agreements that you need to reach based on data protection. Recently, I was reading about some Nigeria data protection policy, and I read in that article, as internet service provider, you can't keep your users' data in a cloud or on a third-party application. It has to be on your own application. Anything that has to do with your users' information, I think that goes to hospitals also. You can't keep your users' data on the cloud. Let me just open a Microsoft cloud and start keeping my users' data. Any application that will have to retain your users' data cannot retain those users in the cloud. Though you might have your application hosted in the cloud. But it's sending message that my network is bad. Hello, hello.
Yeah, we can hear you, but I think your voice is a bit poor.
Okay, so as I was saying, I don't know if everybody can hear me clearly now. Sorry, I don't know what's
Yeah,
wrong
we
with
can
my
hear you now
network.
today.
Okay, I've been switching from one network to the other. So as I was saying, so data protection, data privacy is very, very important when it comes to technology. Um, at this part of the world, we might not see it as a big deal, but however, in some other part of the world, data protection is very important. As a matter of fact, someone can spend the rest of his days in jail because of data breach, depending on which kind of data has been breached. So for that not to happen, so Microsoft put some things in place. There are some technology that have been put in place to protect both your identity, data, and your application hosted with Microsoft. So there are some other part of the security that we'll not be talking about now. Now, strictly, we'll just be talking about basic things that we just need to know, since this is just a basic class. So I will not be using either complex English or bringing complex things, so we'll be able to understand the concept. So privacy measures, as I said earlier, in the security, we have the security, then there must be measures. So just leave all the English we have on the screen. So there must be measures. There are things for you to do. Most of us that are working with one company or the other, you see that on your official laptop, there are things you can do. Like the company I work with, I know that on our official laptop, we can't go to any betting site, you can't go to any adult site. There are a lot of things that you can't do on that PC given to you. So these are some of the measures that are put in place so that there won't be any compromise from your or from the admin. And so while we are discussing, if you have any questions, you are free to drop it in the group. I'll pick it up. Sorry, I'm trying to open the purview and the defender admin center. So before now, the purview is, we call it the compliance admin center, but now we call it the purview. And the other security admin center, now we call it Microsoft Defender admin center. So once I mention purview, know that we are talking about compliance, and once I mentioned defender, then we are talking about security. I believe we all understand the concept of security and compliance now. If you don't understand, please let us know before I take us to the admin center. I just want to show us things from the admin center. We are not going in depth to it. I just want to introduce to us, just explain one or two things to us. Then we come to the end of the training for today. So before we proceed, if you have any question or you are here to understand the concept of security and compliance, please let me know. Please let me know. However, I'm not here alone. I have my boss on the in the trip with me. So I have Joseph, I have Emmanuel, Rafiat, and other people also. In case I'm not able to do justice to your questions, they'll be able to buttress on whatever you ask. So before we start questions, you can drop it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting if you have any questions. Let me just go to the public certificates. Are we still there? I believe there is no
Yes,
question.
yes, Jide, we can hear you. Maybe we'll just move on to the portal.
Somebody said I should take you through the concept again.
Okay, so good thing is that the call is recorded. So you may just give a brief
Okay, so
and
let me
then
just use, I will just use simple simple English so you get it. I might not say the way I did from the beginning. So we have the security and we have compliance. Security are the things that you should put in place. The technologies, human power, anything that is related, make sure you are securing either your entity, your applications, your data, they are what they are secure. Things that you need to put in place. I don't want to mention them. That's why I keep using things. I don't want to mention anything until we get there. Then I can now start telling you some of those things that I will need to put in place. You can see some of us, if I pick your phone now, definitely I can't just start pressing your phone. There must be a form of security on your phone. Definitely there will be a form of security, but however, that security is not enough. That security is not enough. There should be other things privacy measures that needs to be put in place, which is where compliance comes in. In various uh, houses here in Nigeria, they will tell you once it's 7 p.m., we are going to lock the entrance gates. Or once it's 7 p.m., we won't allow any vehicle that does not belong to this estate to come in. Yet they do what? They have security men around, they have police around in their estates who is securing. But however, there are some measures that in place are what we call compliance. So if we don't comply with it, then there's chances that from one user or one house owner negligence, then despite all the security that have been put in place, there might be bridges from somewhere, and a theft might just have access to any information in the estate or steal from any of the users in that estate or in that tenants or from that server, irrespective of those informations are kept. So I don't know if that person that asked that question gets that concept you are trying to paint now. Joseph, I think you want to say something earlier.
Yeah, so I was just saying that I was just saying if you could give just a very brief, which you've done already, explanation of the concept again. And good thing is that the call is recorded. The For clarity, the person could also go back to watch all the demonstrations that you've done, especially when you use the paint to describe the concepts. So yes, fine.
Okay, thank you. Purview has not gotten answer. Is Purview and Defender be used on-prem or it is only cloud? Okay, so as said earlier, each technology have their own way of securing them, and um, some of the security of the servers or any of the technologies might not be secure in so that's security that we have in place to make sure all those things are secure. And one of them is firewall, especially to on-prem, anything on-prem. The security they make use of most of the time is firewall, though you make use of firewall for your cloud applications also. But however, what we are talking here is just strictly to Microsoft security and compliance. For those that will be going to cybersecurity fully, maybe once we get to the intermediate training and the expert training, then we can be going to that. As I said earlier, I said there are some security that company needs to put place, but they need to comply. They have some sector in Nigeria that you must obey with. And I gave illustration of that earlier that I got documents in my company, and I know that as internet service provider, you can't save users' data in the cloud. Users' data must be saved by a device that is managed by you, which is, and I said that goes to hospitals also. So I don't know other sectors in Nigeria, but I only read about those two sectors, which is health and internet service provider. So to make sure that users' data are what are protected. So I don't know if I answered that person's question. Because of oh, sorry about the network interruption. Is there certification for compliance? Security and compliance, they are together. We have SC 900 SC 900, and we have other one. You have SC 200, you have SC 100, you have everything to come together to get your security experts. So there are certifications for it. There are certifications. I think that is all from all the questions we have here. So can we go to the
Today, I think you may want to change to the other
Microsoft
network you were using. This is again very poor.
purview.
Hello, today.
Please, my network is really misbehaving.
So apologies. He has tried to switch from different routers and it's still giving him a bit of hitches. I apologize
Wow.
on his behalf.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can hear
just
you.
hold
I'm
on.
trying to change.
Yes, sure, please.
Hello.
Yeah, I think it's better now, today.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better now, today.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So we're going to the
You may
purview
you,
admin
you may
center. Don't
want
worry,
you may you
tomorrow
may
I
you may
promise
want
I'll do
you may
something
want to
about my network.
you may want to disable your camera. It could help the quality of your voice.
Okay, let me remove my avatar.
Then you can just close the camera completely. It could help since you're doing camera and screen share and your
I'm,
network is
I'm,
not very
I'm not using
stable.
camera. I'm using avatar. I'm not using
So you could just
camera.
turn all those off and let's see if only the screen share can help us.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, I think it should. Maybe we'll just go on and see.
This is yeah.
Okay, so we can see Microsoft Purview on your screen.
Okay.
Hi, JD.
Hello, I'm with you. I'm trying to out the purview. So it's taking some time.
Okay.
Hello, can everybody hear me now?
Yes, can hear you.
Uh, okay, so we are currently in the purviews, and please don't forget, as I mentioned earlier, purview is majorly about compliance. So enforcing some things or what to enforce some rules on what users needs to do or what admin also needs to put in place to make sure that all what they spent or what they've done on this security will be effective. At least for everything that is secure, there is always instructions from on the to do. So for the Purview Admin Center, for those that can see my screen, you can see we have some solutions listed there. We have the AI Hub, which is still in preview. We'll not talk about that. We have the audits. We have the audit. So don't be scared of the word audit. It just means this I know before now. Audit. That is every activities that has been done by the users um, emails as to applications or datas or any technology within the company. What was done when the user have access to that application, everything is under audit. This company might request for it. Company might request for it. Governments might request for it. If you go through some of your terms and conditions while trying to subscribe for some applications, you will see it there written boldly that if government should ask for some of your data, they will go ahead to do what? To provide them. That is for audit purpose. So that is audit. As I said, there are things to be done. So the other part of it, communication compliance, you can see. So one of the form of communication we have in Microsoft 365 is emailing, and we have chats, which is Teams. We have calls from Teams also. So I'm just picking those three form of communication compliance. There are other forms of communication also. Um, I can share data with you, and from that data, like we are working on a real time document in a OneDrive or in SharePoint, is still a form of communication. While you are doing your own part, I'm doing my own part also. So all this communication, there should be a form of compliance. So a user cannot just do what they like. Imagine bringing somebody into the company that is a desktop admin, and you went ahead to give that user global admin. That user might not even have intention of fraud or something, but because the user is giving global admin, the user might decide to exploit the admin center. Oh, what is this in this admin center? And might just go there, click on something, and it might cost the company you think more than what you think. So let me just click on it. I'm just trying to be brief as much as I can. I can see our time is running faster. Okay, so we have compliance manager. Let me open the compliance manager. Oh, so we have our compliance manager also. If we check from the compliance manager, you will see that there are some things on the screen on what to improve on the solutions that are affected and the scores for each of these solutions, and they have breakdown to everything. If you see the first three parts, I'll just talk about that so we can go to the next one. It said automate notification and configure action for non-compliance. Can you say it? For users or people that are non-compliant, that we should do what? We should do auto notification. The manager, which is the admin, maybe the security admin, should be notified. You will see that there are a lot of things that have been put in place. Though we'll be talking about some of them, not all of them. As I said earlier, we just need the basic information for now, and we need more than that. Or a question is asked related to any of them, I can really bring it up and discuss it. So let's continue on our solutions. So we have the data catalog. We'll not be talking about that. So we have the data lifecycle management. So what is data lifecycle management? Data lifecycle management is how long you want to retain a data. I don't know, some of us that do apply jobs online, you will see that there are some company when you are applying their portal, they will tell you that these data will be retained for 3 months. Then after 3 months, it will be deleted, or you can request that those data should be deleted from their what? From their database. So data life cycle management. So you can, let me put it let me use English that we understand. I like using email because we are all familiar with email and chat. Let's say email life cycle management. How long do you want a mail to stay in a mailbox before it is deleted or it is archived? This is what they are trying to say. Or how long do you want a chat to stay? Okay, I think in WhatsApp we have disappearing message. You see that message life cycle is 24 hours. So after 24 hours, by default, those messages will be what? Will be deleted from your phone. It will be deleted. But however, you can decide to back up your data on your phone. So the act of backing it up is like managing the life cycle of your what of your data. You can say you should back up every day. You can say you should back up every week. You can ask it to back up every month. That is a form of data life cycle management. So we now have data loss prevention policy. Now, should in case maybe there is disaster, or there are other unforeseen circumstances that is beyond our control, we don't know they will happen. So we have to put some measures in place. We have to put some measures in place. You can see the first part is data life cycle management. The second one is data loss prevention, so that no information is lost. No information is lost. If you can decide to retain your chats permanently, you can decide to retain all the emails in your mailbox permanently. And as admin, even you not knowing, I can retain the contents of your mailbox or your chat. I can keep them. Even while you think you have deleted them, I still have access to them. Though from your end, user's end, you might not have user access to it again, but an admin will still have access to those information. So there are some compliance policy that is put in place to prevent data loss. So, and as I was saying earlier too, some people insure everything in their house, including their shoes and their clothes. So in case of anything, maybe fire or any natural disaster, you see that most people don't even stress themselves. Before you know, in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks, the insurance company have come into work, replace everything back in the house. And by the time you enter that house, you'll be asking, this house got burnt few weeks ago. There was tsunami here some days ago, but now this house is back as if nothing happened, because the user did what? The user was able to foresee all circumstances that might happen in the future, and he did what? He ensured the house. You will see that a lot of English that is spoken in Nigeria traffic, if you have insurance for those cars, you see that most of those English we speak will be avoided. You can easily call your insurance company and they will do what? They will take care of it. So the insurance you are talking about is a form of data loss prevention. As I said earlier, I will keep relating them to things that we can understand. I don't want to assume all of us have been in IT maybe for some months or some years. So I just want to relate with us as if we are all just coming into IT, as if we are just coming to IT. E-discovery search, e-discovery search, e-discovery search, data life cycle management, data loss. They are siblings. One way or the other, they are siblings. So e-discovery is also a way of retaining some data in the user mailbox. How does this happen? From the back end, I can set up some rules. I can set up some things that will search everything in your mailbox, including your chats in your teams and everything that I think you are doing. Nobody is seeing, nobody can see me. I can do whatever I like. I can send whatever I like to any user. I can do what? I can spool everything from the back end and do what? And keep them in case there will be any use for it. In case there will be any use for it. And the next one is information barrier. Information barrier. So these information barriers, I think the first time I worked on this, I was not even uh, the I've forgotten what the customer requested, but this was the solution. Information bias, the names, information, there is a barrier to the information that gets to this person. There is a barrier to the kind of information that you can divulge on this platform. If you send some words that is not okay, or let me use like an F word, if we set up this information barrier for Teams, if you send maybe like an F word and click on send, soon get to the user. So the information barrier is there to protect your users, especially schools, education license, education tenants, sorry, they make use of this information barrier a lot for children, for teenage, for young adults that is making use of the tenants. So information protection also is almost the same thing with what we have upstairs, but now there are some information that should not be sent outside your organization. You know, when we are talking about security and compliance, we are saying security is putting some things in place, compliance is doing some things so that what you put in place can be what can be effective. So when you talk about information protection, like you sending out a credit card information to another company, immediately enter credit card information, you will see an alert depending on the configuration you have in your organization. It will tell you that okay, this information you are sending out is confidential. Some will not allow you to send it out. Once you send anything that involve um, um, anything that involves personal data, once you include it in that email and you send it, that email will not go outside your organization. That email for some company, not all companies anyway, some companies, it will only prompt you, it will only let you know that okay, what you are sending out of this place is confidential information, just letting you to know in case it's a mistake. So it's giving you a nudge to let you know that what you are sending out is confidential. It should not be so. So there are some tenants that will block it permanently. You can't send anything I think passport or something like that. I can't remember some of the informations now, but any personal data cannot be sent outside the organization. Inside risk management and record management. So as the name sound, you can see risk insider risk management. You will see information of risk users. That is users that have, how should I put it now? That have gone against one of the rules. Come in before 7 p.m. daily. Then you decide to come 10 p.m. information here that okay, one person have gone against the rules set in this organization. At times, maybe a user wants to send, okay, as I said earlier, a user is trying to send a credit card information. The admin gets it here in this risk management. Or I've been working from Nigeria, all of a sudden I just travel to the US and I decide to sign in, then I'll be flagged because my location I've done what? I've changed. My location have changed. So it will see it as risk, insider risk management. So just to manage those things is what we have here in Purview. What we have in Purview. I think a real this is just overview of what we have in Purview. And the other part of it, as I mentioned earlier, is the defender. The defender. But before we proceed, I don't know if one or two person have questions, a quick question, so we can proceed to the defender also. So tomorrow we'll be picking some aspect of it. You can see we have it on our agenda. You can see some of the aspects we'll be discussing about starting from tomorrow, and to be completely hands-on starting from tomorrow. So which is that? So any question then before I proceed?
So Jide, if I will
Just
speak
quick
the mind of
question. Quick
yes,
question.
if I speak the mind of most people, they want to see how you got to where we are now. So can you just take us through so how to get to the Purview Admin Center, please?
Oh, okay, sorry. So to get to the Purview Admin Center, like for let me say beginner now. So I always direct a beginner to the admin center, the general Microsoft 365 admin center, which is what we have here. So admin.microsoft.com. I know we have families, it's not our first time of coming here. This might take some time because of my network. Okay,
So
I
Jide,
think I have one open
that part of your
already.
screen
Let me
is not
click
being
that.
shared. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you see this part of my screen now?
No, I think I can only
Can you
see.
see the Microsoft 365 admin center?
Nope. We can still see the Purview Admin Center.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. Can you see the admin center now?
No, I still cannot see it. So, Jide, I want to suggest something, whether that's going to help
Can you
us.
see the admin center?
Hello, Jide. Apologies, guys. His network is really very bad this evening. He has
Yeah, I'm
tried
with
to
you.
switch between routers and it's still not working. So,
Hello, I
Jide,
can hear you.
I'm suggesting that we can you stop sharing your screen? I can share and then you can give me instruction on what to do. Let's see if my network is a bit better. I don't know. So,
Okay, so I've stopped sharing.
okay, cool. So let me just try to share and see. Though my network is not excellent, but let's see if mine is going to be good at all. So let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so can you tell me what you wanted to do if my screen is visible so I can just follow your instructions?
So can we go to the admin center now? Yes.
Okay, so it's admin.microsoft.com. I want to press enter.
.com. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm there now.
Okay. So once you come to the admin.microsoft.com, as said by our previous mentor when we are talking about Exchange and extra ID. So you need to click on show all. You might not
Okay,
have everything you needed at once. So you click on show all.
okay, I've clicked on that.
Okay, you can scroll down,
All right, so here we
please.
go. We have security, we have compliance.
Yeah, so we have the security, we have the compliance. Don't forget, as mentioned earlier, the compliance is the purview admin center, while the security is the Microsoft Defender. So, however, if you come to this place and you can't find any of these two, it means you don't have access to it. A normal user would not even have access to the admin center in the first place. But however, if you have access to the admin center, you don't see this. Probably you are just a user administrator or an administrator that they believe you should not have anything to do with the Purview or the Microsoft Defender Admin Center. So that's why you know say it. But however, I believe this account is a global admin account that we are able to see everything we have on the screen now. So you can click on, I think we are going to the security. Okay, so we have our security center, which is Microsoft Defender. So there are some things you might not touch here, and there are some we talk about. So one of them that we'll talk about is threat intelligence. We'll talk about assets. We'll talk about identity, endpoints, email, and collaboration, and maybe or maybe not. We might talk about cloud app, but now for now, need. I'm not sure we need anything in cloud app. So the mentioned parts is what we'll be talking about um one after the other, starting from tomorrow. From today, I think I'll stop here so I can give room for questions and other announcements from the community.
Okay, so I just
Joseph,
wanted to
thank
click,
you
I just
very
wanted to
much.
click on the compliance part also, so we can see what you were showing us earlier. Sorry, I
Okay.
needed to click on compliance. Yes, yeah, this is it. So just a summary, go to admin.microsoft.com. If you have the right, you click on show all, you see security first and then compliance second. And then I think Jide has explained to us that security is a Defender Admin Center, while the compliance is the Purview Admin Center. So this is the Purview Admin Center, and this is what we had looked at earlier. And then the next one is the Security Admin Center. So you can just take a look at the logo, I would say, for the security or the Defender Admin Center. It's Microsoft Defender Admin Center is carrying the lock, while this one is carrying this symbol. So yeah, this is the catalog information, data loss prevention, and all that he has shown us today. All right. So I also want to drop the links on the chat so that we can use the link to access those admin centers directly as well. All right, JD, you can go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joseph. I really appreciate. So I don't know if there's any question then before we move back to Rafiat for any announcements by the community. So any question, please. Questions?
So, hello, Jide. So sorry,
Hi.
let me just take 5 minutes of your time. Yes. So the questions will come in, and I think the first question I'll answer is someone is asking, is this oh, I've not thanked you. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for that beautiful presentation. Thank you so much. We can't thank you enough, right? So yeah, someone is asking, is this available on the M365 test environment that was created for us? Yes. So I think today before your class, I had assigned the billing admin role, the security admin role, and the compliance admin role to all of you. So you can check that, practice in your test environment, what you've been taught today and what you've been taught in the previous classes. So before we continue with the questions for today, I would like to take just 5 minutes of your time. I believe Emmanuel Oyimafu has shared the attendance link with you. If you've not filled the attendance, please check through the chat. You would see the attendance link there. So one thing I want you guys to do for me this evening before we take your questions is at the start of the session today, for those that were here, I did share with you that the free fully discounted vouchers that you registered for or that you showed interest for is